Hello, and welcome to the second episode of Living Legendary with Lady Sham and Baby Nigel. Today, a legendary guest. I am so excited to announce our very first guest is none other than Billboard Queen Angelyne. If you don't know who Angelyne is, let me tell you, she is the original influencer. The original Paris Hilton, Kim Kardashian, whatever you want to call it, Anna Nicole Smith. None of those girls would have existed if Angelyne didn't come first. And how did she do it? Well, back in 1984, she put up nothing more than a billboard in Los Angeles. A billboard of herself with a phone number. That's it. And everybody said, who is she? What does she do? Is she an actress? Is she a model? Is she a singer? And her response to all of them was, I'm Angelyne. Now, we have Angelyne with us today, and baby Nigel is here. He's got many questions for her. What are you going to ask her, Nigel?
I'm going to ask purely, I think, about the music, the production of the music, who she worked with, where was it? Her vehicle is an iconic vehicle. It is the pink Corvette.
That is right. Nigel reminded me of a very important point. We cannot talk about Angelyne without talking about her pink Corvette. She drives an iconic pink Corvette around Los Angeles. And if you have ever been to LA and you have an Angelyne sighting, it's rumored that that is good luck. So we have to ask her a little bit about that too. And really, I have had a long history with Angelyne. I've known Angelyne since I was 19 years old. She's pretty much the first celebrity I met when I came to Los Angeles. I was working as a go-go dancer at a nightclub called Cherry, and Angelyne was hosting that particular night. So I met her, and she found out that I read tarot cards. So we met up later at the Hotel Roosevelt, and I read her tarot cards. We became terrific friends, and we have a relationship where she is like my daughter, and I am her mother. So she calls me mommy. And I treat her like my daughter. I love her dearly. And she really is, honestly, one of the most interesting people I think I've ever known, not just in Hollywood, but in the whole universe. All right, we're calling Angelyne now.
Hello?
Oh, hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, just to make sure, is it okay to record this for the podcast and we can use your music because we love your music?
Absolutely.
Okay, wonderful. All right, thank you, Angelyne. So how are you today, Angelyne?
I'm just fine. I'm sitting in my car doing your magical interview in my pink Corvette.
Oh, well, we were just talking about your pink Corvette. In fact, Nigel brought up your pink Corvette. By the way, I need to introduce you to baby Nigel. Baby Nigel, meet Angelyne.
Hello, Angelyne.
Hi. Why is he called baby?
So you're from Hollywood, as we all know, and there's another gentleman by the name of Pauly Shore from Hollywood. Have you ever met Pauly?
I was on his show a bunch of times. He's very sweet.
So
okay.
I brought him out to perform comedy, and just through texting and emails and things like that, he may have thought I was an older gentleman, and he saw me. He's like, oh, you're baby Nigel, because I was younger than what he thought. So that's just kind of where it came from, and Lady Sham, baby Nigel, and who knows.
Well, you know what? It's funny. I call Angelyne Angel Baby.
Yes, I'm Angel Baby. Mommy Sham. Ooh.
Well, Angelyne, we have so many questions for you. If you don't mind, I would like to just go back to sort of the beginning. You know, I feel like there's such a mystery sort of around you. So in your own words, could you tell us your beginning and how you started?
Well, first of all, let me clarify the word mystery.
Mm.
The difference between mystery and mystique. Mystery is perhaps solving a murder, a mystery murder, and a mystique is something I'm born with.
Mm.
Yeah, so, I mean, no matter what I do, there's a mystique around it. A mystique is a compelling essence that someone has that draws people to them because they have something other people want to know. That's why I have a fast car.
Now, did you always know that you were going to be a star since childhood?
Well, when I was little, I said I was a queen in another life. I don't know if that qualifies for star, but my main thing was I knew this reality is not where I feel like I belong.
So you don't feel like you belong sort of in the world we live in, or just in general in the reality that human beings experience?
I don't think it's good for anyone, because I feel that where I come from, it's a better, great, wonderful existence, be it material or energy or ethereal, whatever sort of form it is, it's 100% good. This reality, something terrible, something bad has to happen in order to substantiate something good happening. And I'm just not a fan of that process, and therefore I just feel like I took on the human form and have lived my life pristinely as an example for other people to follow, like a pathway to their higher self.
That's very interesting. I mean, Angelyne is genuinely one of the deepest and most spiritual people I know. And it's such a contrast to your image, because you are this blonde, beautiful, sort of like a Barbie. And I think that people don't necessarily associate that with depth. Yet I've had the deepest conversations ever with you.
Don't forget, remember the word sexy. That's a very important word.
Well, don't forget sexy.
Nigel's not forgetting that. Nigel is a very heterosexual man. He was very excited to talk to you today.
And you're helping us. You're helping us bring sexy back with your conversation. Thank you.
Oh, that's cute. Well, sexy doesn't actually mean sex. Sexy means powerful. Like Nigel could be sexy while he's making this happen. You know, or watching somebody play guitar on stage is sexy, or watching somebody perform on the computer could be sexy when they're getting it done. Sexy is a powerful word. It's power.
Speaking of sexy, one sexy thing is your music. And Nigel had so many questions about your music, because Nigel's a musician too.
Yeah.
Ooh, what do you play? What do you play?
I play the bass guitar and all sorts of instruments, and I have a recording studio. Just knowing that I was going to speak with you, I did my deep dive on your albums. And who put that all together? Was that your brainchild, or was there a producer in mind? Did you write the songs? I'm just very curious to that part of it.
I'm always in control of everything. Everything. I'm the producer, I'm the writer. The only thing I don't do is play the instruments, or if I'm doing live, I don't like to have an instrument covering my body so I can be free to dance. But I am in control of every aspect of my life as much as a human being can be. And I'm making this film now, which I'm the writer, producer, editor, although I don't physiologically edit, but I tell the editor what to do, and of course I get some of his input, but I make the last decision.
Yeah, it sounds like you're the producer of your life.
Hello.
That's amazing. With the band, so just to go into that again, who played the guitar, who played the bass, who are these unsung guys that got together and backed you up?
Well, I interviewed them.
You interviewed them?
Of course, to get them in my band. You know, you call musicians, I want you to play this or that, or of course I had to get someone to transpose my melodies into a song, because I don't play an instrument by choice. So I put it all together.
And
Very cool.
you were pretty big in the Los Angeles punk scene back in the early 80s, right? And what are some of the places that you played at around there?
Well, I love the Whiskey and the Palladium and places like that.
And is it true, because there's so many rumors on the internet, but is it true that the name of your original band was Baby Blue?
Well, it was my boyfriend's band. He had a band and he gave it to me. It's a long story. You have to watch my movie to see how it happened. But
okay.
That was, yeah, he gave it to me, and then it went to Angelyne.
Well, I can't wait to see your movie. When is your movie coming out?
It's a universal time.
Universal
cosmic time.
I will say this, your movie's coming at the right time.
So just speaking about movies and moving on to that kind of thing, you were in The Simpsons and Futurama, BoJack Horseman, and animation. How was that? Did you voice that, or did they just take your image?
No, they paid me.
And did you get a call one day, or did you just find out? Just curious how that works.
Both ways. Mostly they called, but sometimes they did it, like Fox did, use my billboard in Notorious B.I.G., and then, you know, my lawyer went after them and got the money, or take it out like that.
So speaking of Billboard, I think, even though you've probably told this story a million times, I think our listeners would love to know how that whole concept came to be. Because as we talked about in your introduction, Angelyne sort of came to prominence in the world by putting up billboards of herself. So how, coming from the person herself, how did that come to be? How did you come up with that concept, and how did you execute it?
Well, the punk band needed attention, so they put pictures up of me. My boyfriend at the time was in the band. His name was Jordan. She put up pictures of me all over the city, and it escalated into billboards, and you'll have to see how it happened in the movie.
Okay. We're going to watch the movie because honestly, I feel with a legend like you, other people try to tell your story, and it's just good to hear it from you.
Oh, well, yeah, it's fictionalized if you've heard anything, but that's good. All these different stories.
I suppose that adds to the mystique, which is sort of, I was going to use.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
That adds to the mystery. The mystique is something I have.
Okay.
I think Mommy has it too, don't you, Mommy?
I think my daughter, we are almost a little bit different in that regard, in that I put so much of my life out there and I sort of have no filter, whereas I would like to have more mystique. I wish I had more control so that I could, but I tend to just say what comes out of, I don't have the ability to just say, watch the movie. I would just tell everybody what they want. I just don't, I don't have that kind of control.
Are we talking about mystery or mystique?
I think mystery, maybe. Maybe I'm talking about mystery.
You're talking about mystery.
Yeah.
I'm talking about mystique. Mystique is something that draws people to you, and I do believe, Mommy, that people do come to you. They're drawn to you. Otherwise, why would you do all the shows that you do?
Oh, God bless you. Thank you so much. I'll be honest with you, Angelyne. Literally, when I came to Hollywood, the first thing I saw was your billboard. I was 19 years old, just got off a bus. I had nothing to my name but a suitcase, and right when I got off the bus, there's an Angelyne billboard.
Oh, was that last year?
Sure. Of course it was. I wish it was last year, but it was. I'll say it was an iconic moment. And then when I met you, I felt like I was literally meeting the biggest star in the universe because you had that mystique, and everybody knew you as the epitome and the essence of fame. The way that you were talked about, after I saw the billboard, I asked everybody, who's Angelyne? Who's Angelyne? And everybody would say, oh, she's famous for being famous, they'd tell me. And I, as someone who's, like a deep thinker, I tried to think about that. Like, what does that mean, famous for being famous? It's almost like the most pure version of fame because you're not, even though you are a singer and you are an actress and you are a model, you're not relying on any of those. You're just relying on being Angelyne.
Well, I always say I don't like to hide behind talent.
I like that.
As a crutch, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I put myself out there. I remember doing a huge show. I think it was something with CNN or something, and they said, who do you think you are? It's like, they attacked me. It's like, who do you think you are putting up all these huge billboards? And I said, I am me. People didn't get that. I took the heat for all that. You
took the heat in the sense that the public was angry?
Well, most people are famous for something, and they're not just famous for, say, nothing, and nothing equals my whole persona. Is that nothing? A talent is only a tiny slice of the pie. Cherry pie.
Oh, Angelyne, you are the best. You really are. You really are.
I have a question here, just to move off topic, just for a moment. You had a political career or an attempt at it. Is that true?
Well, yeah, I have a political career. I have a key to the city of West Hollywood. I ran for mayor. I ran for governor twice. But, I really didn't want to get an office job. Thank God I didn't win. I'd have to get my mommy to do my proxy for me and go to the office.
Oh, Angelyne,
right?
You overestimate your mommy. I don't think I'd do very good in the office. That office would burn down if I got in there. They don't want me in there.
We'll get Kyle to do it.
Yeah, that sounds good. I mean, Angelyne, honestly, I think that you need to be president of the world. If I had it my way, that's who I would vote for. Angelyne, so really, I'm in a biased position here because I've had a relationship with you prior to this conversation. So I'm trying to ask things that are as sort of appealing to the listeners, but at the same time, I want to talk to you about the things that we really talk about when I would have a phone conversation with you, because really, as I said earlier, I've had some of the deepest conversations I've ever had with a human being on this earth with Angelyne, period. We started that sort of in the beginning, and then we went off topic. I feel because I asked things for the listeners, you know. But if I was to ask you a question to sort of dive back into that realm, what do you see as the future of humanity?
You'll have to see my movie for that. I really address that in it heavily.
You do.
Oh yeah.
And you have a sort of kinship to humanity in the sense that you said earlier that you came from like a higher place, and you want to sort of impart this knowledge or wisdom that you have to the human beings living on Earth. Is that correct?
Well, in all honesty, I put it this other way. You're correct in that sense. I just say that I came here dressed in the clothing of a human body and just did everything right. I'm going to become human, and I'm going to show them how to do it right. That's what I did. And once, I've created a pathway to this point, but once I'm gone, I will leave a DNA pathway for everyone to follow if they wish to. But it is the freeing of the spirit is what my goal is.
Do you think that there's other life forms in the universe that perhaps aren't tied to the same constraints as the human being and live free?
I think if people live in this frequency, in this realm, in this dimension, no matter where, because there are so many dimensions. Like, for example, if you were in a room with 1,000 TVs and every TV played a different thing on it, and they're all happening at once, that's like billions of people. They're all little TVs. Not to mention all the animals and the frogs and the trees. They're all having this, pardon the expression, web that is holding this place together. And I'm hoping that if people came here to create something and sacrificed their freedom and became a slave to this material realm, that I'm able to make the pathway for this project for them, humanity and otherwise, to be finished, and then have the pathway to get out. Because when you're here, people can forget where they came from and what's going on, because they're so linear that they have to continually focus all their energy on doing what they're doing. You get that?
Yes.
Do you ever feel like you're visited by other people or energies or things like that?
I think we all are. Like Larry, Mommy Sham. You know Larry?
Of course I know Larry. Larry was a brilliant photographer and a friend of Angelyne's that unfortunately passed away.
I think fortunately for him, he was not happy. He had taken all my billboard pictures. And again, you can find out more and why in my movie.
I only met him maybe 3 times, but I remember, no more than that, probably like 5 times maybe. But I just remember he was super handsome. I was like, this guy looks like a movie star. And he was a photographer. And I guess I say unfortunately because that is coming from an earthly place. I was really sad. He suddenly was gone, you know?
Mm-hmm. He wanted to be gone. He was not happy here. He always said that if a person isn't helping other people, they're not worth anything. That was one of his mottos.
Wow. Well, I mean, not to be morbid, but I guess you see death as a graduation to almost getting out of the human body, whereas I guess the human perspective would be seeing death as an end or a conclusion, looking at it from just, human eyes. So you're looking at it from a different place, I feel. Is that right?
I mean, honestly, we can only hope, and I don't think it's smart to assume anything. What if I'm wrong? All I know is I'm driven to do what I do, and, it's just inherent in my nature to just keep going forward and upward.
You said keep going forward and upward. So I guess that would lead me to ask you, if you were to say, what is Angelyne's legacy in your own words? What would it be?
Well, as I said before, it's to create. I believe, and I know that I came here dressed as a human being in that form with all its nonsense and problems and torture, whatever, and did it the right way. I feel like I absolutely showed everyone how to do it the right way. I lived my life the right way. We're only allowed one mistake, and that's not even a mistake. Every time we do something, it's to try it. If you do it again, that's a mistake and qualifies as a big no-no.
I love that. And I'll say too, there's no one more authentic than you, whoever's listening, literally. And I feel like Angelyne, you really stand for that because Angelyne is you and you're just being you. And me, as a transgender person, I can say, God bless you and thank you for being you. And thank you for giving people like me the courage to be me.
Oh, I'm glad I did that for you. Did I really do all that? Really? All that? Were you really, before you met me, were you really not able to really express yourself the way who you are?
I think every transgender person, because you're born as a gender that you are not internally, right? I was born in a way where I felt like, I was a certain gender, but I walked through life the opposite gender because I had to, because it was just the way I was born. It was what was expected of me. But as I rose to who I really was and was able to find my true self, I was able to outwardly show that to the world. And to me, the similarity I see with Angelyne is that you have presented Angelyne to the world, and that is your true, authentic self. And that's why it's worked. I think that's why people are fascinated by you and interested by you.
They seem to inherently know. People come up to me crying, saying, oh, it's because of you that I'm able to do this. But getting to you for a minute, I mean, you have this fierce dedication to being the mommy, the woman that you really are inside. And if you hadn't been born a man, you wouldn't have that. That fierceness is hard to come by. I mean, you can't buy that.
That's very true. I mean, I would say I am defined much more by my struggles in life that have kept me persisting. Has that been anything for you? Surely when you first started in Hollywood, you must have faced a lot of adversity. Am I right? This girl comes from who knows where, from outer space to come and be a star in Hollywood. What did people say?
I know, but we have to do that to be able to identify with other people. And like I said, there's certain qualifying energies that allow you to get things. And qualifying energies being, tortured or hurt or something. Again, I'm not a fan of that process. That's why I don't like it here. That's just how it is here.
Yeah.
But also, I didn't really have time to psychoanalyze myself too much. I just kept it going, keep it moving,
And you still do. It's amazing. I mean, I still have friends because I have friends that know that I know you. They call me, they say, I saw Angelyne driving today. And you're seen in Hollywood almost every day. It's just amazing. What is this thing about people who say that they see you, they have good luck? What is that about?
What happens to be true? I just wish I had my own Angelyne to see.
Just look in the mirror. Look in your rearview mirror.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Thanks, Nigel.
Can I ask you, Angelyne, because I know so many celebrities are fans of yours. For example, Tom Petty, when he did an interview, he wore your T-shirt. I mean, there's so many celebrities that love you, that have come up to you. What are some memorable ones that have come up to you and said, I'm a fan of yours?
Well, Lady Gaga and Dolly Parton, of course, Elvira, just a lot of them.
You have a friendship with Dolly Parton and Elvira, am I right?
I don't talk to them all the time. I don't have time, but, I mean, of course, I'm friendly with them.
Okay, well, am I allowed to tell my favorite Angelyne story when I was with you, my favorite encounter with you and a celebrity?
Okay, tell me.
Okay, so let me say if this rings a bell to you. We were shopping at the Ralph's. I was shopping with you at the Malibu Ralph's, okay? And we ran into Pamela Anderson. And we didn't run into her, actually. She came up to you. And she ran up to you, no makeup on. She was just in the middle of the day shopping. And she said, oh, my God, it's Angelyne. I can't believe it. I love you so much. And I was shocked because it was Pamela Anderson. I don't know if you didn't recognize her. I don't know what was going on, but I just froze because I didn't know what to say. And then you gave her a card to join your fan club. And she looked at it and looked at you, and then we kept shopping. I'll never forget that. Do you even remember that?
Yeah.
You do?
I do,
okay. Did you know it was her?
Of course I do.
Did you know it was her?
Yeah, she told me it was her. She wanted to know if Dave LaChapelle could take pictures of me. And and then another time she kept coming up to me with Dave LaChapelle. She's really very sweet. You know what's funny? Remember the time we were at that market and we walked out? There was like an explosion.
Mm.
It was like
like photographers, right? Is that what you mean, or what?
so many, but it was
Yeah,
like
I
such
remember.
an explosion.
I do remember that. Yes.
It
Yes.
frightened me to death.
Well,
It was a big...
I have to say, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but every time, this is the unique thing about Angelyne, everybody, if you didn't know. All the other celebrities are running to the paparazzi, including me. I don't lie. Angelyne runs away from them. Okay. Anytime I've been with you, there is that explosion. We'll be walking just in Beverly Hills and someone will jump out of a bush. And Angelyne, you do this thing with a fan where you cover your face.
It's funny because I've made friends with some of them because they know better than to sneak up on me. They come up like really sweetly and they say, well, can I please take a picture? And I said, well, buy a T-shirt. So I make them buy a T-shirt and I do a little pose for them.
Wow. Well,
so they're nice.
Everybody's got your T-shirt, by the way. I have a T-shirt. I have a hat. I have a tote bag. I have a keychain. Angelyne, where can people get your merchandise?
Just go to Angelyne.com.
Angelyne.com. And I suggest, too, that everyone join the Angelyne Fan Club. The Angelyne Fan Club is amazing and will bring you good luck if you join. Am I right?
Yeah, but don't forget, I also have the art show coming up. Remember I told you about that?
When is the art show?
March the 30th to the 2nd.
What about the movie? Anything you want to talk about?
I can let you know when it's coming out.
Okay, no problem. Can I ask one last tiny question?
Yeah.
If you had to give advice to somebody who wanted to be famous, what would you tell them?
Run and hide. Just kidding.
And why do you say run and hide?
Because nobody should need to become famous. People should be substantiated by their own energy as to who they are. I became famous for a reason, and that is, like I said, to create a pathway to help people. Like Larry said, the most important thing another human being can do is to help another human being. So I did it for a reason, for spiritual reasons, if you will. Because I'm a very private person. I really don't care.
Right.
I just came to help. And my driving force, you know what my driving force is? I want to get out. That's my driving force. Just like your driving force was wanting to be a woman. Mine is to get out.
And when you say get out, can you explain it?
I want to go back to the pure energy that I am.
And that true energy being of a higher vibration that's not tied down to the physical form.
Do you know what higher consciousness means?
Yes.
But there's one simple answer, and that is higher consciousness is only feeling high.
Well, I will say in the past, I've certainly known about being high.
Yes, but this is the real high. Be feeling high. You know what I mean? Just high all the time. No problem. No worries. No worries. And do you know what the slogan is for this year?
Tell me.
Repeat after me, guys. I'm not worried.
I'm not worried.
There you go.
We are not
We're
worried.
not worried. Yeah.
Okay, Nigel, are there any final thoughts or questions for Angelyne?
Just to thank you for your time and insight. And I've never met you, but I feel like I know you that much more. And you have a great energy and great spirit. And your voice is very nice to hear on the radio.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I forgot my hugs and more hugs and sexy hugs to everybody.
Angelyne, I love you so much. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you for the interview. And your mother will be calling you.
I'm going to close out the show with a couple tracks from you, if that's okay.
Yes, no worries.
Thank you very much.
Hey, Angelyne, can we get an Angelyne request from Angelyne herself? What song would you like us to play first?
How about Tangerine Rose?
Tangerine Rose it is.
Okay, thank you very much. We're going to end the call here, and we appreciate your time, and maybe we can get you back for an episode 2 down the line.
Yeah, once I release the movie, we can go deep on that one.
That'd be great. We'll watch the movie, and we'll have a lot to talk about then.
Okay. Bye, everybody. Mwah.